Alright, geezers. We're back after our 5 lap piss about. Got some serious action tonight, TJ.
I mean,
Round 9 for Austria. Wow. Let's load into the game, shall we, people? Object Fungus is here. I didn't think he was racing tonight. We'll take that out.
yeah, Jensen's back on his wheel as well, so it could be a good base between them two.
Indeed, indeed. Well, as I said, welcome back, everybody, to the Limit Racing. It is round 9 around Austria this evening. Standard format. 3 qualifying sessions, of course, then with a 50% race and 18 cars at the moment then going to take part in this event. I don't think we'll have anyone joining late. Could be wrong, but you never know. And as I've already mentioned, we have got the return of Object Fungus racing once again this week. Couple of new faces as well, namely Quickstone filling in tonight in the Alfa Romeo, and I think Frosted Cheese has actually raced before, so I don't think he's fairly new, but he's not new this week. But yeah, I'm joined once again on commentary, I should probably say. It's not just me this week, thankfully. I won't have the world's driest mouth after 2 hours of talking over whatever we're going to witness tonight. I am joined once again by the beloved TJM 1992, the Stoke bloke, alongside me. He's glad to be here. I can tell in his enthusiasm speaking to him before the stream.
One,
TJ, welcome. Thank you for joining me.
yeah, one done. So expect the next thing that's comes box. It's going to be
absolutely thrilled. Thrilled.
Over the moon, mate. I'm so glad the sadness comes box in last year next year, mate.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for that, TJ. 16 drivers out on the circuit at the moment. 2 still in the pit lane. Object Fungus and Lexus. Leaving it late then for Mercedes and Haas. And the first driver taking us round on a lap in the Austria Hills at the Red Bull Ring is Diamond Duchy then, who had a bit of an indifferent race last week in Miami for the sprint there, of course. He didn't quite show off perhaps the pace you'd expect to see from the man in Alpine colours, as we've got a yellow flag out at the end of the lap. I think it's just a driver getting out the way, so hopefully Diamond Duchy won't find anybody sitting in his way as he tries to complete his first flying lap here. And he did fall down in the Constructors last week to 6th place. He'll be looking to try and get back into the top 5 after this race today. Crosses the line, and the benchmark then a 105.5 TJ, which I don't think is the fastest time we'll see today, but it's not too bad for a first effort.
No, not at all. Let's say I think he'll get knocked out the park very shortly as Collateral it's Juve coming around now. I imagine he's going to be close to 104s. He's proven me wrong, thanks Juve. Collateral lads only just about quicker than Duchy, so perhaps very wrong about Duchy's timings. He's blowing out the park.
Yep, Collateral Lads racing once again in his McLaren. It's not actually his McLaren anymore, I don't think, but he is racing in Papaya Orange once again then as Prem now says the fastest time of the session. A 105.2 with Jensen right behind him. Jensen, you mentioned back on a wheel this week, TJ. We've seen some pace from him in previous races this season. Do you think he's going to be right in the hunt for a podium on that basis?
Yeah, he's only set at 105.2 in Q1, so he's 4 thousandths behind Prem. He'll be hungry to prove again, especially after his past couple weeks on control, that he's back up there in the championship and trying to push to get the Red Bull team to get somewhat higher in the constructors.
I think rather inconveniently, TJ, someone's just knocked my front door.
Ah, that's not ideal, mate.
Which isn't ideal when you're doing commentary. I'm just going to check. 1 second. I'm the only one in the house now, so...
Yeah, that's his ideal. So we'll see who's setting all happens. I think we've got Lex that's coming around the final set of corners now. I mean, you can't see him coming around the final set of corners, but he's coming around the final set of corners, and we'll see what he does here. He's off the final corner now, keeps it nice and clean, and Lexus puts himself in P6. We do have Object Fungus out on track as well currently. Actually, before that, we've got Quickstone coming out of the final set of corners now, and we'll see what our new driver can set. Puts himself P12 1.62. We'll be looking to improve on that. So we'll jump back on board of Object Fungus, who's coming around the final corners now. Easy on the throttle and then validates on the curve. What a fraud.
Not ideal for Object Fungus. Sorry everyone, it was a man trying to teach me about God, which I sent away very quickly at 8:05 in the evening. Not too sure why there is a man trying to convert my religion at this ungodly hour, but you know, we're back anyway. And we're back with Seneca, who should be invalidated really from what I've just seen, but somehow he isn't in his Ferrari, looking to get out then of the bottom 14 and is slightly faster than his previous effort, but not enough to overtake the new boy Quickstone then, who remains P13. I was going to mention TJ no lives this week after his race win in Miami last time out then, and well, of course, the championship leader, that surely gives a chance for the likes of Mag User to try and get ahead of him going into round 10.
Yeah, Mag user finish. She's I think P2 or higher. He'll take the championship lead from Levs. So yeah, he'll be definitely looking to have a good race here and reclaim that championship lead from Levs. But the Aston Martin boys recently just been on top form, and it's showing for how far ahead they are in the constructors' championship currently.
Yeah, definitely 187 points then for Aston Martin. The Livs and Henkers combo paying dividends for them in Division 1. They are, well, a whopping over, what is it now, 63 points ahead, I think, of Haas, Mag User, and Lexus then need to buck up their ideas. Brad Mason filling in for Livs tonight. We'll be hoping to try and give them a even bigger lead then as we go into the final 5 rounds of the season. I was going to say, TJ, cars are out on the track very early as we see Bawley now come across the line to go 8th fastest, 1:05.6 as well. Very tight times in the field, but everyone went out the track very, very quickly. And I think we are going to see some rain very shortly.
I'm pretty certain it is raining. I'm flicking between the onboards, and I'm on board with SNES now, and I'm certain I'm seeing raindrops.
Yep, indeed.
Yeah, it's not ideal for Object Fungus, who got held up by SNES on this lap as well, so we'll see what he can set. It's still going to be a quick lap, puts himself P6, but if the rain's coming this early, the track's just going to get slippier, and the guys in the bottom 4, not ideal for them at all. As we have got a latecomer in Drobel, actually. Drobel's arrived at the track late, sat in his Aston Martin, and seen the rain come down. Not what the Red Bull driver needs at this time.
Yep, indeed. And that's what you get for joining the session late, Drobel. If you're on time, you might have had time to put a lap in. You've still got, well, as you come out onto the track now, probably not even one run. The rain is going to come down surely quick enough to prevent him from getting through to Q2. I mean, what he really wanted then was probably a lot of drivers to have not put a time on the board, but everyone getting a lap in then, avoiding that invalidation. And you'd have to say, TJ, bar some phenomenal lap now from somebody in that bottom 4, you'd have to say Quickstone, Seneca and Sneers are probably then going to be out of this session.
Yeah, I'd say so. Obviously, Drobel's going to try and pull a lap in, but yeah, with the rain coming down, the track's just getting... The track doesn't like it's too wet currently, but obviously a little bit of water in these slick tyres your braking zones completely change. It's easy to slide off the track. I am on board a Drobel currently, and it doesn't look too bad for him, but the veins definitely coming down heavier. And as you do imagine, halfway through a lap, it's just the track will just give away on him.
Yep, definitely Revenge Zilla struggling already then. He's 13th at the moment with a 105.9. I'd have to say he would be through given the weather as well. And coming into the pits then. So I don't think, TJ, we're going to be treated to a lot of action here for the last 8 minutes.
No, not at all. Dribbles just come through sector one and set a purple sector one. Now I'm not sure if it's personal or whether that's an overall. I mean, if it's an overall, he's done a fantastic job here. So we'll keep a close eye on him as he comes through sector two, and it looks like he might be getting lucky here. Actually, the track doesn't look too bad. He is giving it full beam still. As he comes through sector two, sets a purple sector two now.
This would be enough to push Brad Mason down then into the bottom four. So can Drobel, despite all the odds here as he comes around the final couple of corners, put a time on the board to break into the top 15 of drivers then, and does so by some margin.
Wow.
A 105.5 under pressure. I take it back, Drobel. Join as late as you want. You can put the inters on. Have a go on them. That's an unbelievable time considering the track condition. 105.5 from Drobel seats him then through into Q2. And as I said earlier then, with the rain falling here in Austria with 6.5 minutes now left on the clock, you'd have to say really, especially with the amount of drivers choosing to retire, Brad Mason, Quickstone, Seneco and Sniz then are going to be out in Q1. I mean, if the man trying to teach me about God is still around, I've got 6.5 minutes here. I should have put him on the mic actually. I should have been like, do you want to sell God to a stream, an entire TTL stream?
I mean, you have got to ask yourself why he's out at 8 o'clock on a Monday night in the cold, perhaps raining, trying to preach God.
I know. Well, I mean, I guess God doesn't wait for no man, no matter what the time. And I suppose if you're knocking on doors at this ungodly hour, it's a good job it wasn't during I'm a Celebrity, wasn't it? And your friend was should be livid.
Mate should be jumping out the door, launching through the gate.
I bet. As we got Brad Mason then has decided to come back out onto track on a new set of soft tyres. Whether it's just to give us something to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, DRS is disabled, so he's definitely not any quicker than he's done already.
Well, here goes Brad Mason then up the second straight, and this is going to be a phenomenal first sector, I'm sure of it. Crosses the Delta line. Ah, no. He's 6/10 off.
Oh, and he almost drops it off to turn 3.
Ah, it's not ideal.
Oh, and he's dropped it now.
He has dropped
it, yeah. Not only has he lost the front wing, he's got rear wing damage. Oh, and he does another donut just for showing. It's gone well, Brad Mason. Anyway, now Brad Mason's going again. No, I mean,
we're not watching him. I am purposely not giving him the airtime. Instead, we're going to discuss some anecdotes, TJ, from today's news.
Go on.
So, let's just see. I believe tonight Matt Hancock joins the campmates in the jungle, if everyone's looking forward to that.
What a lad. Oh my god, Brad Mason just dropped it. Oh, what a fraud. Anyway, so...
the US midterm elections are underway. Big test for Sleepy Joe to see what happens there.
Yep. Did you see Bojo's dig at Truss about the fracking, by the way?
No, I didn't see that. It wouldn't surprise me. Bojo is obviously the king of all things Conservative Party, so. Benjamin Mendy enjoyed sex with lots of women. The trial has been told at his case of whatever he was doing.
What a legend.
Fair play. I don't think we can say that, TJ. I don't think we were pushing. I don't think we can say. We got 26 viewers listening to you call call Benjamin Mendy a legend. Oh dear.
Some people will
Sniz,
appreciate
come
that
on
one.
lads, what are you doing? He sat in the pits. We've got 2 minutes and
Liverpool
40
could be
seconds.
sold. The owners FSG have said they are open to investment.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong. I best all Liverpool fans hoping for that. We've got LWS Yorkie in the chat actually. LWS Yorkie, how do we feel about FSG potentially selling Liverpool? Let's go. There we go. Sniz has retired, and I didn't see Collateral Lads get the fastest time, but he did. Collateral Lads then fastest in Q1 with a 105.1. A tenth ahead of Prem and Jensen, who were 2 and 3. Mag User, Henkers, Object Fungus, Drobel, Diamond Jock and Bally rounding out the top 10. Then it does look very competitive and very close with all the times. And the bottom 4 then that we are losing from the session, which we have pretty much known for the last 10 minutes or so now. Brad Mason, Quickstone, Seneco and Sniz then all getting it wrong when the weather turned and unable to put a time in. Brad Mason missing out by just 11 hundredths then, but he is out in Q1 and surely TJ the biggest shock of the session.
Yeah, definitely. It's a shame that rain come. But the early birds did it, and hopefully we might get a dry Q2, but we'll wait a minute.
No. No.
Ah,
Yeah, there's no TJ. We
yeah,
haven't got a dry Q2. Very wet.
that's not gone well. But anyway, as many of you know or might know, the World Cup's upcoming, and Brazil have announced their squad, and Bobby Firmino's been left out, which I think is scandalous.
Yeah, I mean, I think Gabriel Jesus and Martinelli both got in. I think Gabriel Jesus has scored now in like 8 games or something like that. So I know
Yeah.
he started well for Arsenal, but it's not gone well since.
No, they've called up Anthony as well, so hopefully he does some stupid little turns against a player, makes himself dizzy, falls over the ball perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, sounds about right, really. Won't surprise me. We've got some cars out on track, TJ. We are actually watching a race today. I don't know if we haven't had much action so far thanks to the weather, but now we're gonna get then some wet running here in qualifying, and it's Collateral Lads out on track on the
Wow.
intermediates. A lot of drivers
Wow.
out on intermediates at the moment. TJ is wowing.
It's Big Buns. Big Buns is leading us out here, mate.
Yeah, I just mentioned Collateral Lads because that's who was on the that's who was on the screen. We have swapped
Okay.
now to the big buns. Here he is. Revenge Zilla, TTL Buns, TTL Zilla, whatever you want to call him. Big prick. Here he is across the line
Wait.
with his intermediates. In the AlphaTauri, he's not gone too badly in Division 1 so far this season. I should really have some sort of information in front of me telling me how he's doing so far. It'll be here. There we go. Currently then, third in the championship, 69 points away for Revenge. It's a long way off the top 2, but he'll be hoping then to finish ahead of the likes of Henkers and, if he can, Object Fungus to try and keep that P3 then. Going into round 10 next week, of course, before we have the break, because as you mentioned, TJ, there is some kind of football going on the week after, so TTL takes a week off to accommodate that. It's been a very steady lap so far from Revenge Zilla, and of course the drivers here, TJ, not choosing to get the practice in Q1 in the wet conditions, and I would imagine we're going to see, unless the weather gets even worse, the times come down as the drivers get more confident then throughout Q2.
Yep, as there's a Red Bull on the start finish line, run sets 14 for you. I think that'll be smashed at the park by Collateral Lads, who's coming over the line now. And he sets a 13 now, and thank you, Collateral Lads, for smashed at the park this time. Junior Vade's coming across the line, he looks like he's got a car up his arse as well.
Yep, the douche, what are you doing, lad? And it's worked for you, because you're into P2, 14-2 from the Alpine man then, as Object Fungus finds his rhythm and, well, smashes out the park. 13-3 from him. You would expect him to be through to Q3 unless the track was to dry up before the end of the session, which I highly doubt, as they're all out there at the moment. And Lexus crosses the line and goes just ahead of his teammate then into P5. What else is going on out there? Drobel, I think, was the Red Bull that we saw trickle across the line, and Prem then out at the final corner. Looks like he's got it all wrong and is rounded into the wall. Now, are we going to get to see what's happened there with Revenge Zilla? Yes, we are. I'd imagine he's on the inside of the track here. Indeed he is then. And Prem, TJ, you'd have to say, was looking to be one of the fastest guys in the field. But that, putting it into the wall there, less than ideal from him, and surely a big shock as well.
Yeah, it's as you would have expected to get through to Q3 and, as you say, be up there with the at least top 5. But the issue is the Raymond D, he's probably got a set that's it's perfect for the dry, but the wet, it's just not balanced enough coming from that final corner. Especially the cars in this game, that all it takes is a little bit of wheel spin and you've lost the rear end and, as you say, point into a wall and end your qualifying there, unfortunately.
Yep, definitely then, as Jock now comes out of the final corner, crosses the line, and it's enough for P10 then, and he's through at the moment to Q3. Provisionally, anyway, then a 15-1. It's still some way back from the main pack of the field, but it's enough at the moment anyway, as Frosted Cheese crosses the line and looks like he's about to start another flying run on that set of intermediate tyres. Yet to see Jensen, TJ, he's still in the pits at the moment, and, well, do you think he's trying to wait for an improvement in track conditions, or is he just favouring a later run?
No, so I think we saw both Red Bulls drop it at the same point, because Jensen has been out, and he trickled back into the pit, and then I think Drobel dropped it in the same place the lap afterwards. So both Red Bulls having a nightmare here, and I don't know about you, but the rain looks like it's coming down really heavily now. Looking from the pit lane point of view, and you'd have to say that Drobel, Tiddling Cans, and Jensen have probably left it a little bit too late here.
Well, Tiddling is on an outlap on the blue-striped extreme wet tyres then, so that's interesting. He's also got a bit of BWT advertising board in his front wing. That's also not ideal. And yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think they have left it a bit too late here. We'll get an indication from Jensen, because we know what pace he has usually. But if he has left it too late, it's surely an uphill battle then. He's got to get basically into the 14 still. Jock with a 15-1. He'd have to beat that to get into the top 10. And that might be a tall order here, but we're about to find out. Ooh. As he nearly drops it then on his outlap. Hitting the curb. Junu Vane has retired, as we just saw in front of him then. So the McLaren into the wall and out of qualifying, and even if he is through then to Q3, he won't take part, so being caught out very much so by the conditions there. Johnny Vale and TJ, even watching the outlap from Jensen here, it looks very tentative on the throttle.
Yeah, it does. He doesn't want to put any throttle down, and when he does, the car just snaps. He's coming up to the Sector 1, it's 18-1. I feel that's just not good enough, as he coaxes the car around turn 3 and puts no throttle until it's straight lined. I think this is an indication that the track has just probably gone too far, and I can't see him getting some 14s that he need at this point, as he almost loses it again. Yeah, the Red Bull's not enjoying these wet conditions. The car is just snapping every time he puts a bit of steaming lock in. He is very tentative on his throttle. Comes through the bit where Junior Vane just dropped and he almost dropped it on his out lap. All the way down now to the final set of corners, and we'll see what he does with his throttles. And it's very tentative once again, coming on this final corner, takes the curb, but once again doesn't want to put any power down. Gets power down finally, and it's 16-2, and I can't see him improving any further than that now, unless he was just putting himself a banker lap in.
Yeah, I know that. There was actually an improvement then from Jock, who is now in P7 with a 14.4 then, so time to beat is a 14.496 of Ballies to get now into the top 10. Johnny Vane's time, oh no, it would be Johnny Vane's actually, and there is the red herring having retired from the session at 14.7, but even that, TJ, with 6 minutes on the clock now, that is going to be some task for any of those bottom 4 that are still in the session to achieve.
Yeah, definitely. Drobles doesn't look like he's enjoying it either. He's backed off his lap. I saw him spin on his out lap, but he's going for another push lap now. Jensen is going again. I didn't see sector 2 split, but as he loses it coming out to the corners of sector 3. I know he was down in sector 1, but he's obviously going to probably jump in the pit here, I imagine. There he's going to continue on, so wonder if he is up on his time. Coming off the final corner again and straight to the finish line, and no, he's 2.2 seconds slower. Drobel's going through sector 1. He was just about 10 up through sector 1. So we'll see what he can do from this point.
Yep.
Very tentative once again. Coming through sector 3, but he looks like he's got a bit more control of the column that Jensen had. Looking a bit more comfy for definite, but still coaxing the car and doesn't want to put any power down. Coming through the sector 2 split line now, and he's 15, well, nearly 16 seconds up. He still needs finally about a second, but loses to rear. Yeah, and that's probably this lap that's done now.
Yep. And this would be a massive shock, TJ. Both Red Bulls not being through to the final part of qualifying. Drobel comes around the final corner. Can he somehow find the time needed? Well, it's not a bad effort. A 52 from Drobel. P11 on the timing charts. And that is not shabby at all. But unfortunately, it just is a bit too wet out there. He can't quite repeat the heroics of Q1. And it looks like then we are going to lose both Red Bulls, Frosted Cheese in the Ferrari, Tiddlewink and Prem, both Williams, both Red Bulls, and Frosted Cheese in look like they're out in Q2, and that is going to surely make for an entertaining story for the race, TJ.
Yeah, definitely. If it's a dry race, you know for a fact that Drobel and Jensen will make their way through, same as Prem and Tiddlewink as well, so yeah, they might be having disappointing qualifying, but if it's dry, we know they'll fly through the pack. As Jensen is pushing once again, and he's just over a tenth off. So we'll see if the Red Bull driver can find any time. It does look like it stopped raining as heavily. I wonder if the track has come to Jensen now. It does look like he's got a bit more control over the car this time, which is good for the Red Bull driver. Going to a twisty set. Oh, Drobel puts himself in P3.
So, yeah, Drobel finding time right at the end there, TJ. You mentioned that it looked like the rain had stopped falling slightly. Well, Drobel has repeated the heroics end of Q1 and looks like he is through to the final part of qualifying. And Jensen, as you've been following his lap, can he repeat his teammate's feat here? Coming around the final corner, coming to cross the line. It's only a 15.6. It's an improvement by half a second, but there is still 2.5 minutes if he has the fuel here to try and get that Red Bull into the top 10.
Yeah, it's luckily some of the other drivers haven't retired, like the top 2 and Diamond have. Um, especially like Sabol, he wouldn't be expecting to be needing to go back out at this point, but he is going out just in case. It's all to play for still in this Q2 as Jensen is pushing again by the looks of it. And it does look like he's got the car under him. He's looking very much more confident coming in out the corners here. Going through this tricky section of Sector 2 now, and we'll see what his delta is as he comes around the final corner in Sector 2. And he's a second up on his time. The Red Bull driver's found pace, and he's invalidated it.
Not ideal there for Jensen. He will still have a chance though to get a time on the board. Meanwhile, in all that, Lexus went P2 for Haas at a 1:13.5, closely followed now by his teammate Diamond Duchy, who retired early on in the session, down to P8 now. And everyone out there improving on their times. And, well, TJ, we could see a shock here. The times are coming down very quickly. Collateral Lads, who chose to retire as well, you'd have to say his 1:13.9 isn't looking particularly safe anymore either.
No, it's not. I do have a feeling if these guys can put the times in they need, that Diamond and potentially Clock Lads could be out in Q2 here. Jock looks like he's backed out of his lap. I don't know. I can't see much long's left on the session due to the yellow flags in Sector 2 currently. Jock will struggle to get back around, I think, to set a lap. But as you say, the guys are coming around now. I think it's Lexus or Mag User. Lexus is jumping into the pits. It's a Red Bull of Drobel who's going to go back round again.
Sorry, CJ, just to interrupt on that one. Jensen invalidated once again as Drobel then smashes the fastest lap in for Red Bull. His teammate, on the other hand, invalidated his flying run once again, and there's not enough fuel on board then to go around, so Jensen is out of qualifying. What can Bawley do in that Mercedes? He goes P5 and pushes Tiddlewink back into the bottom 5 now then, and Tiddlewink is improving though, and Frosted Cheese is on a lap here, so it's these two that can push Revengilla back into the bottom 5.
Eventually, puts himself in P4 for 13.4. Tiddlewink coming around the final set of corners now, and will he push Diamond Douche into the bottom 5? Yes, he does.
Yep, and Frosted Cheese as well, crossing the line to go P8. Puts his car into the top 10. Jock, I think, is too slow then. He's not improving on his time. So we do have our bottom 5, and it changed very quickly at the end of the session there. The two Alpines of Jock and Diamond Douchy both out then. Johnny Vane we saw crash earlier on in Q2. Jensen couldn't get the lap together in the end, and Prem also having an accident. Collateral Edge, you'd have to say there, TJ threw by the skin of his teeth after retiring early on.
Yeah, definitely won't be expecting to be down in P9. With the time he set him, how the track was, the track certainly pumped the drivers with that rain stopping, and it could be signalling for potential. Maybe we could see some slick tyres in Q3 if the track continues the way it's going. But obviously the biggest shocks here is the fact we've got Jensen, Junior Vane, and Diamond Douche out in Q2.
Yeah, definitely. Diamond Douche will be kicking himself for retiring so early, but to be honest with you, even we thought that was done for qualifying. Unbelievable how the conditions changed so quickly there. As we wait for Mag User and Jock to be wheeled back into their garages, we'll have a quick look then at the times. Oh, there we go. We will have a quick look at the times because there's your classification for Q2 then. Drobel much quicker in the end. Looks like he's got the bit between his teeth then when it comes to Austria at the moment. 8 tenths ahead of Object Fungus though, who didn't quite get a time in the optimal conditions. Henkers P3 for Aston Martin. Revengilla popping up in a surprise P4. He'll be hoping to replicate that in Q3. Mag User and Lexus and the two Hasses 5th and 6th. Bawley through to Q3 as well for Mercedes. Frosted Cheese makes Q3 for the first time. Collateral Lads and Tiddlewink round off the top 10. As we've already mentioned, the bottom 5 then: Jock, Diamond, Douchey, Junu Vane, Jensen and Prem, all out then of qualifying, and we'll start from 11th to 15th, TJ, and that leaves Jensen with some task then to come back through the field in the race and try and get onto the podium.
Yeah, it does. There's some very quick people in front of him now. And yeah, it's all to play for in the race. Obviously, we don't know if it's going to be a wet race or a dry race at the moment, and I'm certain that Jensen will be hoping it's dry. As it looks like he just didn't have the car under him in the wet at all.
Yeah, as it looks like we have got a dry track then for Q3. So as the rain disappears and the surface dries, we'll see the track times start to tumble. And it'll be interesting to see how quickly then those drivers come out onto the track on slick tyres and whether they leave it a little bit of time to dry up. It's only a short Q3 session. We already have an AlphaTauri out on track on intermediate tyres, and that has to be Revengezilla as the only AlphaTauri left in qualifying. A big surprise then, TJ, to see him go out on the intermediates.
Yeah, I mean, on the bar cam doesn't look too bad, but on board he has got a bit of spray coming up. But I think the intermediate tyres won't stick to how the track is. There's definitely rain coming down. And actually looking on board now, there is no spray coming up at all. So I think the engineers at AlphaTauri have misinformed Evangela here.
Yeah, surely we're going to see drivers come out on the slicks, and well, we already have. Tiddlewink for Williams is out there on a set of soft tyres, and most of those drivers in the pits look like they are going to follow suit then, with 10.5 minutes now on the clock here. Will this AlphaTauri come back into the pits? You'd imagine so, and indeed he does then. And it'll be for a set of the soft tyres. Frosted Cheese will surely follow suit because he's out there on intermediate style, as too is Henkers. So the three of them, TJ, might have just cost themselves a run here in qualifying, because they've got to come back in now, change the tyres and do another outlap.
Yeah, definitely. The only thing I think of there, they were perhaps doing a bit of bank lap just to, or feel the track lap just to see if they think the inters would work. But given what we've seen from the track, it's definitely slick weather or slick tyres. Sorry.
Yeah, definitely then, as Lexus has left the session. If we can try and get him back in, TJ, so he can set a time. Now then, we have got a soft tyre runner on a fast lap here. It is Tiddlewink, who has invalidated at the first corner of asking there, so he'll have to go all the way around again and hopefully keep those tyres in for a second run then on his Williams car. We have got Frosted Cheese crossing the line, and well, he's stuck to his guns here, TJ. He's stayed on the intermediates. Not too sure why he would do that, but the Ferrari going to
Yeah,
try and make a go of it.
it's just cost himself time here, and it's, for me the track's definitely slick now. And I mean, fair enough to try and get a delta on the board, so you've got something to aim against. But doing it to ruin your Q3 attempts is a bit of a weird thing to do.
Yeah, definitely then, as Tiddlewink has made it all the way round once again, but invalidated this time at the final corner, so he's invalidated the next lap. So he's now got to go round once again. It's not ideal at all. Not too sure what he's done there. But there we go. We got Mag User then, who's managed to keep it inside the lines as he starts his lap, and just in the nick of time, DRS enabled for Mag User then, as Frosted Cheese puts the 110. I don't think that'll be beaten, TJ. That is a phenomenal lap time.
Oh, mate, that's so quick.
Well, at
so
least
quick in them into tyres.
he stays true to his word, though. He has stuck it out. He hasn't come back here, though. Might have been a bit foolish, but there we go. Mag User, I'm sure he's going to absolutely smash that time now as he comes through Sector 2 at 46.1. Has to be a little bit careful on the throttle. It's clearly not dry enough to go anywhere near flat out through that corner. And keeping very much off the white line and the curbs and all the vulnerable opportunities where we saw Johnny Vane crash in Q2. But this is the representative time they all have to aim for then. It's a 106.1. And on that basis, as we're about to see Object Fungus cross the line very quickly in comparison, 105.8, well, then not anywhere near the times we saw even in Q1, TJ, so the track still has some way to go here, and with 7 minutes on the clock, it could really be the last driver across the line.
Yeah, it could be. I'm surprised we haven't got more drivers out. We've definitely got the sets of tyres to do it, but no one wants to clear the track. And surely it's benefit these drivers just to come out and, on a set of slicks and just put a lap in. You got at least some delta to come and then jump back in the pits and put a new set of softs on. No one wants to come out.
No, Drobel is out there at the moment on a set of softs, and it's a 16-1 first sector, so very good from the Red Bull driver. We've had Tinnerwink in the chat saying, just to clarify, I was using old tyres. Well, that excuses why you invalidated 3 times then, Tinnerwink. Sorry, how dare I? How dare I question what happened there? Mag user then goes to the top once again, 105.3. Decent lap from him there, but I'm sure we're going to see a time in the 104s, and will we see it very shortly from Drobel. 45.2 through the middle sector. Has to keep off the throttle a little bit more than he would have liked there on the curb. Had to avoid invalidation. Throws it in to the penultimate corner. Now it's about not running wide here, and once again has to let off slightly. Crosses the line. It's not in the 104s, but it is provisional pole. A 105.2 then. But there is still plenty of drivers yet to set a lap.
Yeah, I definitely got Henkers that's coming round sector 3 now, and he hasn't been setting purple sectors, but I do expect him in the 105s. Actually, I don't expect him in the 105s because it looks like he's back off his lap.
He's in the 105s. That's
what a rapid lap from Henkers that is. Did I say 105s, mate? I meant 109s, mate.
109s, yeah. It's that Stoke accent coming across.
Yeah, it is, mate, yeah.
109.7 from Henkers. Still puts him ahead of Frosted Cheese anyway. Tiddlewinks setting a blistering invalid 151. As I think he dropped it on the... He's invalid.
So, on the fresh set of tyres, everyone, Tiddlewink has just invalidated turn 1, and that is an absolute shock from the Williams driver. On them fresh set of new tyres, you would never expect him to do that.
As Revengezilla gives Collateral Lads a cheeky toe, naughty there from Revengezilla, helping the McLaren team then, and his friend Collateral Lads get a bit of a toe. Let's see if that has an impact on his lap time coming through sector 2 then. Runs slightly wide, 45.0, so this is looking very good indeed from Collateral Lads, who was fastest in that Q1 session, it should be said. Took the time away from us, we didn't quite catch it in Q1, but we're definitely watching along for this one as he comes around the final corner. Pressure on from the McLaren driver as he crosses the line then, and it is provisional pole, a 105.0, a very good lap from him, just short of 4 minutes now on the clock. I thought Revengezilla there was going to try and get the toe back, but he's took a very interesting line through turn 1, and yeah, he's not going to get the toe back then from Collateral Lads as Drobel, and Bully goes into P3 for Mercedes, and good time from him. TJ, you'll be glad to know on Tiddlewink Watch, he hasn't invalidated this time.
There's still time.
He is halfway through the lap now, and he hasn't invalidated. He has invalidated 5 times in Q3 so far. He's coming through sector 2. He's doing a fairly decent job at the moment at 45.3. It's not bad for that. Oh.
You see, what's happened there, Biddle? He's come out on worn tyres and validated 3 times, put a fresh set on, invalidated the 4th time, and then the 5th time, and then dropped it on these worn tyres, and it's just not going well for the Williams driver.
Absolutely not. could not have gone any worse for Tiddlewink, who's back in the pits then. 2.5 minutes now on the clock in Q3. Revengezilla has carried on round. Despite invalidating on these tyres on the previous lap, he's going to push again. So his target surely must be to get into the top 5 here. He's had the pace really throughout qualifying to challenge that. Q1 and Q2 in the wet and the dry, but he might be slightly hampered by the tyres here, and he's not quite hit the apex there, but it'll allow him to get some more speed into the car than as he comes towards this left-hander of turn 6. He can't afford to run wide here. It's a 45.5, not the quickest we've seen, about half a second shy of Collateral Lad's time, so put him somewhere around Frosted Cheese and Henkers, depending on the final sector. Throws into the penultimate corner, has to let off once again, cuts the final corner beautifully, it should be said, comes across the line, and it is a 105.8 from Revengezilla, and, well, I don't think he'll be too happy with that, TJ, but as I said, he was hampered.
Yep. Still a good lap from that photo drive. It's a shame he couldn't get that lap in on his first attempt, but we know he's got the pace, so expect him to do something in the race. As Magu's just coming round sector 2, and he's just about 10th up on his time. He still needs to find extra time for sector 3, but the Haas boys have all created a brilliant tow here, so Lexus is getting fantastic speed behind Magu's. Magu's are coming through the finals corner now, straight down onto the gas. Puts himself in provisional pole.
Go on, Mr. Behrman. Provisional pole from Magus and his teammate into P3 as well. Haas 1 and 3. They'll be absolutely elated with that if they can keep it by the end of the session. But we've still got Drobel on an outlet. Collateral Lads is going very slowly as well. Looks like he's run out of fuel, I think, actually, for McLaren. So I don't think he's going to improve. So P2 looks to be the best for him at the moment. Frosted Cheese retiring in the pits. Revengezilla also out of fuel. Object Fungus is about to start his final flying lap. And Tiddlewink as well, TJ, at the third time of asking now. I don't know what set of tyres this is, but he's going to try and not spin or invalidate for the first time in Q3.
It's a new set of tyres, mate. He's got this, yeah. The others were worn tyres, that's why he was doing so bad. So I'll keep an eye on Tiddlewink, you want to keep an eye on Object Fungus.
Yeah, Object Fungus then, who surely now is the main competitor for this pole position along with Drobel. Magu's and Lexus into the pits then, so first and third is the best that the Haas team can get, depending on what Drobel and Object Fungus do here as he comes through the Sector 2 split. Here it is a 44.8. Henkers out of nowhere takes pole position away from Magus. A 104.7. What a lap from the Flying Finn then. But it's Object Fungus who's going to have a go at beating that 104.7. Will it be the shortest lived pole position in history for Henkers? It is indeed 104.5 from Object Fungus. But Drobel then over the line steals it from Object Fungus. Henkers down to P3 despite that heroic lap. Drobel takes pole position
Zilla.
away
No.
from Object Fungus. Revengezilla has been a naughty boy. What's he done?
The steering wheel got disconnected, mate, and he lost control of his car.
Oh, not ideal.
No, but on bigger news, Biddle, Tiddlewink at the third time of asking pull a lap in.
Oh, Tiddlewink, P9 ahead of Revengezilla then, unbelievable from him. But it is then, as you can see, the top 10 for the race. Drobel, pole position in the end with the last meaningful run of the session. Object Fungus will start alongside him on the front row. Henkers with a phenomenal lap was nearly going to be on pole but taken away from him at the end. P3 for him. Magu's down to 4th. Collateral Lads' impressive lap early on beaten as well. He'll start P5 alongside Bawley. It's Lexus and Frosted Cheese with his highest position in TTL yet. And Tiddlewink finally gets the lap in. Finally gets himself out of P10 into P9. Unbelievable. We had
Tiddlewink.
we had LWS Yorkie in the chat there saying tenner on Tiddlewink to stick it on pole. Yeah.
I mean, that's a waste of a tenner, that was, mate. Come on. So what we'll do, our Yorkie, is over the weekends, that tenner can go towards some drinks, mate, yeah?
Tiddlewink here. Please be quiet. It's a disgrace from me. Personally, it might be the fact of the tyres had been waiting for too long in the rain, so it made them expired.
I mean, that's a perfect. That's perfect. That is. That's definitely what happened. Wasn't driver error. The tyres expired. That's why it took him 3 attempts.
Yeah, I mean,
That's poor.
their
Poor from the
tyres,
Williams team.
they're not cheese. You know, it's I don't know how that happens, but anyway, all the drivers abiding by the basic rule of not redding up them, you beautiful sorts. So it looks like we are going to get a short break here between qualifying and the race, TJ, which will give us a good chance to revisit today's current affairs once again. Um, Ukraine is the reason to act fast on climate change, says Rishi Sunak. Don't know,
Say what?
don't know why.
Okay,
I have
that's
no idea.
that's massive. That is Vishy. Oh god.
He's done a solid there anyway. 3 leap from migrant rescue boat held in Italy. Okay, throwing themselves off the
Fiddle.
side of boats, not ideal.
There is a yellow warning for weather issued for Northern Ireland, Wales, and Southwest England. We could expect rain and high winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. Batten down the hatches, ladies and gentlemen. You
I
could be
mean,
blown away.
that's what they get for living in such shit areas. To be fair, do you know what I mean? They kind of deserve that.
Yeah, I do agree.
Nigel Piggle says, "What's your opinion on the current state of affairs?" I mean, they're not great, I guess.
Fantastic, mate. What are you on about?
Big news for Yorkshire. The ex-Yorkshire chairman, Roger Hutton, says he will not take part in the disciplinary proceedings over the charges resulting from racism allegations at the county for cricket.
Massive ballers.
Yorkie, have a word. Get yourself down there, lad. Absolutely unbelievable from the chairman of Yorkshire Cricket, whoever that is. Anyway, we are going to get going here in Austria. Lovely short break. That's what we like to see between sessions. We don't want to be waiting here for hours. And it's going to be a
No.
short outlap as well. Then, as we can see, the tyres on the left-hand side, we've already ran through the order of the starting grid. So let's have a quick look at the tyres. Lexus, the highest one to start on the softs, with Brad Mason, the only other soft runner in the field. Tiddlewink, Revengula, the 2 Alpines of Jock and Diamond Douchey, Prem and Quickstone all on the hards then. So those drivers further down in the mid-pack choosing to go a little bit longer with their stints then. Drobel, Object, Henkers, Magusa, Collateral Ads and Bally, the top 6, all on mediums, TJ. And are we going to see a Collateral Ads masterclass here in his outlaps? He is, I don't know why, but for some reason, whenever he does an outlap, he's so far behind everyone else. I have absolutely no idea. Looks like he is going to try and keep up, though, with Magusa, so that's nice to see from Collateral Ads there. Good lad.
There's still time, mate. There's still time.
Yeah, we're not quite done yet, but
As Magusa's call time for cut lads here. He's hung back. The top 3 are on the grid, getting cold tyres. Everyone else is just rocking up through the final corners now.
Yeah, the mind game's already starting then. Lovely stuff as Object Fungus. What is going on here? They're all slowing right up then. I want all of them now to overshoot their grid boxes. Drobel stops a little bit short. Object Fungus just about eases onto his marks. Henker's not quite pointing to the right as much as I thought he might have been. Collateral Lad seems to be pointing towards the grass. Not too sure what's happened there, son.
You've
Perhaps
about to
he's...
become a lawnmower, mate.
Yeah, perhaps he's going to throw it around the outside into one, who knows. That's probably not a safe place to be, though. As we have Quickstone, Seneco, Sniz all disqualifying at the back of the field then, but we are going to get 5 red lights in for this Tier 1 race around Austria, and it is lights out and away we go then. It looks like Drobel's got off to a great start. Object
Jesus.
has very much been caught out there at the front. TJ's absolutely lost his lid. Brad Mason.
What I just went there.
TJ's lost his lid, people.
Oh god. I mean, also on base start when Aston Martin goes sideways against the wall.
Imagine this is Bahrain. What was it? 2020. Grosjean's just pierced through the barrier. Martin Brundle's just absolutely wetting himself alongside. Like, I mean, we gotta check if Brad Mason's okay, lad. He's just absolutely twatted the wall full on.
Lad didn't want Mason points in the wall straight away. Fucking hell.
Virtual safety car is out, people. I don't know if you can tell. Drobel still leads the way. Mag user up 2 then. Great start from him. Henker's P3, Collateral Lads P4. We've got someone in the chat, Clinic. Oh no, it's Clinch. So it's Clinic. It's Clinch Oof, who says he's also pissing himself laughing. I'm assuming that's part of the Mason army who was here last week in Miami cheering him on. Well, sorry, Mason army, you're not going to get to cheer your man on at all this race. Out off the line then. Virtual safety car still out, but now comes back in, and Drobel then leads the field away. Mag user in P2, as I said, good start from him. For the most part, though, they all remained in position, but Object Fungus was completely bogged down from P2 TJ. I know you was probably focused on what happened at the back with Brad Mason, but not an ideal start for Object Fungus there.
No, not at all. I did see that Mag user got a fantastic start from behind him. But yeah, so Mag user perhaps didn't get the correct bite on the clutch or something, but yeah, he definitely got bogged down. It's still early doors, so we know Object Fungus has got the pace, but not ideal to be sat behind the McLaren driver, Collateral Lads, who we know can defend pretty well.
Yeah, and of course, we have to have a look at the tyres then. So Lexus not quite making the start. He would have wanted 2 from P7 on those soft tyres, and Drobel, of course, setting the fastest lap of the race as the first driver in the field then to set a lap without virtual safety car conditions. We have got a yellow flag out once again, TJ. And what did you say about Collateral Lads?
I said that he was a shit driver and he was going to drop it.
Well, he has. He's down then to 18th now. Collateral Lads will look then to try and get back towards the rear of the field and hopefully grab some points. Then we're only on lap 3. Of course, as Lexus looks to make a move on Bawley then for P5 and is ahead of the Mercedes. Now we're watching out in front. Mag uses now less than half a second off the back of Drobel then. So Mag user looks like he's got the pace in the early few laps of this race. Jensen is making some progress from P14 at the moment. He's up to 12th. Another yellow flag out. Quickstone is now around with a beautifully timed reset to track there, it should be said. Fantastic from Alfa Romeo. We'll have to have a word with him about that one, but he is back underway in P17 then.
Oh, Jensen! Oh, Jock is not going to be happy about that one. Jensen looked like he got the move done to jot down to turn 1, but Yeah, Jensen tried to come back across, take the corner, and just smack Jock off track. And I imagine the Alpine driver Jock is not going to be happy with that move at all.
Yeah, I mean that's put Jock back to 14th, then Jensen up to 11th, having passed Johnny Vane now. So Jensen on the move, if a little bit brash, and it'll be interesting to see if the Alpine decides to put any clips in to the stewards after this race, of course, and that might affect the standings at the end. Anyway, further up in front, Lexus now up to P5 following Collateral Lad's spin, but can't quite get on the back of Object Fungus now, who's chasing down Henkers half a second back from him. And you'd have to say here, TJ, we've seen Object Fungus dominance in F1 22 league races. Do you think he's met his match here in the likes of Drobel, who really has got some pace, not just today, but on the season as a whole, as we're going to see an overtake from Object Fungus here on Henkers? Do you think we can see here Drobel putting up a fight against Object Fungus?
I do think we do, yeah. Drobel is a very quick driver. He's just been a bit inconsistent in some of his races where he's made a silly mistake and perhaps dropped it or not got the strategy right, but over the season we've seen him improve, and I do think you say Object Fungus has got a challenger. I also think that Jensen, if he can sort out his issues, he'd be up there as well. And we know Magu's has got the pace in him, so I think we have got 4 drivers who are potentially pushing each other to the limit constantly.
Yeah, pardon the pun there, TJ.
Hey.
Great use of the league name, pushing each drivers to the limit. As we've got Jensen then on the rear of the AlphaTauri now of Revenge Zilla, with Jensen on those medium compound tyres, Zilla and Diamond Douchey, I should say, both on the hard tyres. So it'll be interesting to see if Jensen can clear these two pretty quickly, but stuck at the moment in a bit of a DRS train. Meanwhile, out in front, Magus has got the toe on Drobel, not looking to pull off a bit of late braking there at the inside of turn 4, has to settle behind the Red Bull once again, as Collateral Lads then gets the fastest lap, running 22 seconds now off the back of the field. He needs a safety car to get back into this race for sure, but one driver that doesn't, as we've got Urban Growth coming to spectators. Everyone, Urban Growth, come on lad, come and watch some spectacles here in Austria. Magus are falling now back a little bit from Drobel, and Object Fungus here, TJ, has dropped Henkers, but can't seem to get close to the front two here. And despite them two fighting, they are helping each other here, trying to get away from that Mercedes slightly.
Yep, they are. As sorry to interrupt on that one, there's a battle going for P8 here, and Revenge Diamond Douchey just gone a little bit aggressive into turn 1 on Zilla. Knocked him off at turn 1, he put Zilla down to P12, but Jensen has taken the opportunity here and gone up to P8, but Tinnelweed's getting involved in this as well. It's all kicking off for these last point positions, Biddle.
Yeah, definitely then, as Tiddlewink now making a move on Diamond Douchey up the inside into turn 4. Diamond Douchey going to try and hold it around the outside. Will he have to seed the players here into 6? He does indeed. Tiddlewink now up to P9. Gents, as you mentioned, leapfrogging all of them went up to P8. We've got a third commentator in the party, Nigel Piggle, who I imagine is going to try and spiel something on text-to-speech because he hates his own voice. So we'll see. There we go. he's
such a fraud. He's such a fraud.
That's what you get, TJ, for appearing online. This is why you don't do it. This happens. Anyway.
So what we'll do is we'll appear offline very quickly, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. That might be.
And he's appearing offline. So back to the racing.
Yeah, as Frosted Cheese then looking to make a move on Bawley here for P6. Bawley though with the DRS behind Lexus, can't get anywhere near the back of the Haas, but using that DRS to defend against the Ferrari then of Frosted Cheese. And down then into turn 4, once again battles throughout the mid-pack. and Revenge are looking to make a move on Jonu Vane. Couldn't quite get it to materialise on that occasion, but there's some fantastic battles going on here, it should be said. Great wheel-to-wheel racing, and no one's being a bit unfair here. It is all very much fair play racing, pardon the pun, as Frosted Cheese
dropped it going into the pit lane.
Yeah, I think he's got a little bit too hot on the curb there, and that's going to be a bit of an unsafe rejoin and sneeze. Oh, he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't there. Frosted Cheese back onto track, but surely in the way of Sniz. But yeah, I don't think he just clipped the curb and ended up on the inside of the track, very much in the pit lane, as you mentioned. And in all that, while all that was going on, Lexus has been in the pits for new tyres.
Yeah, fantastic battle there for P9 here. Revenge looking for a move on Junior Vane down to turn 4. Willie trying to late break and try to send it. He does try to top break Junior Vane, going through the outside, but Junior Vane holds the line and keeps the position at the moment.
Yep, Junior Vane defending very well then from the AlphaTauri at the moment, using those medium tyres to good effect. Revengezilla, as we mentioned, P3 in the championship, trying desperately to get some meaningful points here after his mistake in Q3 cost him really a decent starting position, starting 10th and running 10th at the moment, the AlphaTauri. Then meanwhile out in front, Mag User has now dropped off the leader. Drobel is now falling back into the clutches of Object Fungus, TJ, who looks like he's found a little bit of pace from somewhere, at least compared to Mag User.
Yeah, the one thing I've noticed about Object Fungus is he's used a lot of his battery ready to perhaps pull himself into this DRS range of Mag User. And it's something we haven't seen Object... Well, we did see it around Abu Dhabi, sorry I do say, but we don't see it very often where Object Fungus has drained his battery. So he's struggling to get the pace and keep up with his... Well, at least of Mag User. Drobel's in a league of his own at the moment, 2.5 seconds ahead of Mag User.
Yeah, definitely, as we're seeing some wheel banging here between Jonu Vane and Diamond Douchey. Then Jonu Vane getting the move done on the Alpine. Diamond, I don't think, will be too happy about that one. Perhaps he's a little bit too generous with the space he left the McLaren there. But good racing once again, and both drivers coming away from the battle in one piece. Diamond Douchey down to P9 now. Jonu Vane, what can he do? We know Jonu Vane has got plenty of pace as well, TJ, but perhaps not showing that too much here in Austria so far. I mean, where can he aim at this position? I mean, he's already 17 seconds off the lead, 10 or 40, well, about 14 seconds off a podium. I mean, what is the goal now for him in this mid-pack here?
I think Junior Vane could easily get P6 here. Obviously, the two guys ahead of him have got time penalties currently. So if he can keep it nice and clean, he'll obviously leapfrog them, whether he does it on track or through the penalties. But I think that's probably his max potential today to P6. The top 5 now Jensen's got through the traffic and set his sights on the top 4. I just can't see him having the pace to catch up to these top 5.
Yeah, definitely then Jensen doing his damn best to try and pull up to the back of the Aston Martin of Henkes. Meanwhile, one driver that has managed to pull up to the driver ahead of him, Object Fungus, now with the DRS on Mag User coming up to the first corner. Doesn't look to make the move here, rather cleverly you'd have to say. He doesn't want Mag User to have DRS up to turn 3, and it looks like Object Fungus will he get the move done here, or will he wait till the next corner, turn 4? Looks like he's going to wait. Looks to try and get a bit of a switchback on the Haas then. Gets a bit of a better drive off turn 3. Now with that DRS, as you mentioned, no Mag User with a bit more battery on board to try and defend here. And Object Fungus looks like he has to settle again behind the Haas for another lap then. Good defending from Mag User here, but this is costing Object Fungus in his quest to try and close up to Drobel out in front.
Yeah, definitely. Drobel pulling further ahead and pulling that gap between himself and Mag User 3 seconds, so he's improving each lap currently. We should say it's hampering Object Fungus. The battle between Junior Vane, Diamond and Revenge is quieting down quite a bit. Junior Vane's going to have a bit of him now, and Diamond just can't keep up with him. Same as Zilla, who's having a few moments even now with the pass snapping. As Tiddlewink, shock everyone, is off track.
TJ, throw some more respect on Tiddlewink's name, okay? That's like only the 5th time he's dropped it today. Let's not badger him too much about that. Poor lad. He's got 10-second penalty. Oh dear. Poor Tiddlewink, as we see Object then finally make the move up into turn 3, but what a switchback there from Maguser to retake the plate. Object just a bit too deep into the corner, and it was relatively easy there from Maguser to retake P2. Tiddlewink, is he going to retire that Williams in the pits? And 15 seconds off. He's not happy with that 10-second corner. Of course, there we go. He has retired the car. I mean, I wouldn't be happy if that was me, to be fair. But, you know, it happens. Tiddlewink. I mean, we probably would have removed that, to be fair, Tiddlewink. But,
yeah, we probably would have enough fairness.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
probably would have removed that 10 seconds. But, you know, you've retired now anyway, so unlucky. Hopefully you can come back next week anyway, as Object Fungus has to stick behind. Once again, Maguser, yellow flags out.
Dropped it. Oh, hang on, we've got. Oh, that was Tiddlewink's car. I was going to say, yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Oh!
As Object Fungus now then trying to follow Maguser once again, but cannot get past the Haas again. Object Fungus is, well, must be absolutely livid here with the defence from the Haas ahead of him. Drobel now 3.5 seconds ahead of P2 here. TJ, you know, going for strategy here. I mean, what do these medium tyre runners do? We're on lap 14 now. How much longer do you think we wait until we see the hard tyres put onto those cars?
I imagine probably the next 3-4 laps. I think it depends what strategy these guys want to try to push for, whether they try to do a medium soft, whether they do go medium hard and run the hard to the end. Perhaps they're waiting for a safety car as well. But I do imagine we'll start seeing come in around lap 17, 18 for the hards to the end.
Yeah, as here goes Object then, looking to finally get the move done, and the Mercedes indeed is finally ahead. A move that was 5 or 6 laps in the making is finally achieved, and Object Fungus can finally breathe a sigh of relief and now look to try and set after Drobel then, who's now 4.2 seconds ahead. So that's definitely cost Object a couple of seconds or so there, but there's a yellow flag, and it's that Drobel that's had a moment then. Drobel getting it all wrong, and on the lap that Object Fungus gets into P2, is he going to take the lead from the Red Bull here side by side into the penultimate corner? Object Fungus looks like he is going to settle back in behind, but that 4-second advantage of Drobel's wiped away in the matter of a few corners.
Yeah, Drobel won't be happy with that at all. He had a comfy lead, and now he's got to defend for his life against Object Fungus. Obviously, he's got the better battery as he's been that far ahead, but Object Fungus now wants to prove a point in. This is the battle you were talking about 10 laps ago with these two, as Object Fungus got his match in Drobel, and this is our first true chance on even ties of who is as Drobel guiding him to push Object Fungus.
I don't want to insinuate anything here, but Drobel, if he did lose the car completely there and was the wrong way round, I think he would have done very well to recover it in 4 seconds. I don't know what happened. Of course, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know why he was going slow on the inside of the track, but if he did lose it completely, that was a miraculous turnaround of 4 seconds from Drobel. But of course, we won't know until we have a look back and see what happened. But,
no, I'll tell you what he did. He did a match for Verstappen, did a full 360, and got back going again.
Yeah, God, if he did, please put the clip in. I'd love to see how you managed that. That'd be very impressive. As Maguser and Henkers then both into the pits now, looking to try and pull off some form of undercut then, as Revengezilla gets added to the list of drivers with a corner cutting infringement in 3 seconds for him. And Maguser looking to go for the undercut. Nigel Piggle in the Twitch chat saying, if I was Mr. Maguser, I'd pit this lap. Well, bloody hell.
Almost like he read your
Unbelievable.
mind.
Almost like he read what was happening there. Absolutely incredible from Magus. And meanwhile, Drobal's nearly pulled out a second here on Object Fungus, who perhaps just dropped back slightly to look after the tyres. And he knows a pit stop is coming anyway, potentially on this lap. They're going to have to cover off Magus, you'd think now, who's in relatively clear air. He's a couple of seconds back from Prem in P7 now. Diamond Douchey making a move for P4, and his teammates getting spicy here between the two Alpines. As predicted, the two leaders then into the pits, Drobal and Object TJ, and you would expect them to rejoin the track 1 and 2 here.
Yeah, you would, unless Maggie's put a banging lap in here. But he is stuck behind this battle between the third, fourth, fifth, and sixth currently. As we see him coming down the pit straight now, they are going to come out ahead. But how will the tie one go for the top two? They are only just ahead by the looks of it. As Revenge, it looks like he might make a move on Object Fungus potentially.
Yeah, don't think Revengula had DRS there, but Object did, because of course the detection zone is before the pit entry, so Object getting that DRS on the exit pretty much negated any attack from Revengula there. And as predicted then, they are comfortably ahead of Malguza, who has got 3 cars in between him and the leaders as well, so it goes from bad to worse then for Malguza at the halfway stage.
Yeah, definitely what Maggie's wanted to see there. He was definitely hoping the undercut would work better for him. But the top two had no choice, as you said, to come in and cover what Maggie's did. That's all about Maggie's trying to keep on the back of these guys, perhaps pick up the DRS, and see if he can make any indents towards the end of the race on these hard tyres. As we have seen him, he does much prefer the hard tyres in this game over some of the other drivers.
Yeah, definitely. Then he does need to get within a second of Drobal once again, though, to get the DRS. Looks like we're going to have a battle for third place here between Diamond Douchey and Revengezilla. Looks like Diamond Douchey has got the DRS here on the AlphaTauri, but, well, these two, of course, good friends, and I wonder how much Diamond's going to push his luck when trying to get past Revengezilla, whether he's just going to sit behind him. For now, it's clear that the Alpine is a little bit quicker than the driver ahead of him, and Magusa wasting no time at all in getting ahead of Jock, and perhaps Jock's been on the wrong end of a couple of overtakes now, forced slightly wide there by Magusa, who really does need to get ahead of these drivers very quickly.
Yeah, he's going at a hard up here between Diamond and Revengezilla. Not ideal for the Haas driver wants. Diamond's making this extremely hard as he's looking for a move on Revengezilla here.
Yeah.
Object Fungus puts fast lap in, but Diamond's got DRS on Revengezilla. Looking to move down to turn 1. Gets the move done, but Maggie's is going to look for a move as well on Revengezilla. Gets the better traction out the corner, does a double overtake out to turn 1.
What an overtake that is from Magus and up to P3, as we've seen. I think, as you've mentioned, Magus does like the hard tyres. He can get them working very well on this game. And, well, is it game on now for the race win for Magus? He's 4.3 seconds off P2 man Object Fungus at the moment, who is slipping back as well from the leader at the moment. But Revengezilla, there's 2 Alpines, I think, coming together there. Diamond, Douchey and Jock then. Well, it's handbags between the Alpines, and I think they've got away with no damage, but that wasn't friendly at all between the teammates.
No, not at all. It'd be interesting to see if we can get a clip of what happened there, because it didn't look nice. It looks like Diamond's going to jump in the pits, actually. Yeah, Diamond's in the pits, so whether this is a planned pit stop or whether it's a pit stop to get some wing change, we'll find out very soon. I'll keep an eye on this, and if not, keep an eye on the battles on track.
Yeah, Lexus is on the medium tyres at the moment and putting them to good effect. Then he's now ahead of Revengezilla up to 4th place then. 12 lap-old mediums, of course, starting on the soft tyres. I know a soft to a medium, I think, was possible on the last game. I think it's a bit of a stretch on F1 22 unless you get a couple of safety cars thrown into the mix. I think that's what he'll have crossed here, because we have got 15 and a half laps pretty much to go to the end of the race now, and well, those
Yep.
mediums are not going to go that distance.
No, definitely not. Diamond did just pull a strategy call. He's pulled beyond the cut, got onto the mediums, come back out, no wing changes. So he's looking to try and get the jump on his teammate and perhaps avenge Zilla here.
Yep, the undercut. Well, we haven't seen it work as of yet with the short lap that we have here at Austria. It's not quite as powerful as it is at some other tracks, but Revengezilla and Prem then both pitting to try and cover that.
Oh,
Revengezilla! What are you doing, lad? 5-second penalty for you to go with your 3 seconds takes it to 8, and you won't serve that 5 seconds now either, so that'll be served at the end of the race. Big shame for him then onto the medium tyres. The big question is whether he gets out ahead of Diamond Douche. He's coming out the pit lane now, and he is behind the Alpine, then P13 at the moment for Revengezilla, and crucially as well, he's over a second back from Diamond Douche, who's making a move on Seneco here into turn 3, and a fairly mandatory overtake there. Routine from Diamond Douche up to P11.
yeah, Diamond Douche getting the perfect strategy call here. Banged in a fantastic lap together, over a second ahead of Revengezilla, so he must have pulled 3 seconds there. But he is at the back of collateral lads now. As we got Jensen, who just made a move on Jock, but he's gone to the pit lane. Jensen on 6th lap, or Haas, who wanted to close that gap up to Lactus to perhaps get P4 here.
Yeah, Jensen then surely now potentially looking at some form of podium if he can. He's only, well, he's just short of 5 seconds back from Mag User here with 14 left on the lap counter, so it's definitely achievable for Jensen here, and it'll probably be a good recovery for good measure as well from P14 to the podium. I think he'll be happy with that, and so too will Red Bull then. Drabel and Jensen could make it a double podium if possible here, but Henkers is harrying the back of Jensen here. He's found some pace. He did okay in qualifying. He's been a little bit quiet at the start of this race, TJ, but he's coming back into the zone a little bit now on these hard tyres, and yeah, pushing Jensen along the road very nicely here.
Yeah, he is. I feel like we didn't cover Hankers enough during races, but I think he had his own quiet battles, to be honest. He is a quick driver. He does get really unfortunate sometimes. Yeah, he is pushing Jensen along the road here as they both get promoted up. A place features Lexus jumps in the pit to get rid of their medium tyres. But yeah, if these two perhaps work together here, they could push that gap to the Mag User and have a three-way battle for the last podium place.
Yeah, Henker's currently P4 in the standings at the moment. P5 here would, I think, give him... No, he'd stay P4. Object Fungus would overtake him, so he'd stay P4 in the standings at the moment. We've already covered Aston Martin doing a solid job, as well as Revengezilla retires from the race. I think that's in the pit lane. So he's given up with those 8 seconds of penalties. Probably going to jump on FIFA, no doubt, the little FIFA addict. The 2/3 distance. But Henkers, yeah, will keep that P4 if things finished as they are. And Aston Martin doing a very solid job. Lives, I think, will be disappointed not to be here this evening. I know he's very much gunning for the first TTL title. Mag User, if he did finish P3, we have covered he would take the championship lead away from Livs. But if Jensen gets him for 3rd, Livs would keep the lead of the championship by a single point going into round 10. So it is all to play for still very much. And well, Mag User will surely be desperate, TJ, to finish in at least 3rd so he can take the championship lead.
Yeah, definitely. Especially with us having that 1 week break now, the points are very crucial. And Maggie's will definitely want to be pushing Livs to the end. It does look like a 2-way fight for the championship now. I think the other drivers behind are perhaps a little bit too far behind with 5 races to go, is it now? 4 races to go?
Well, we had 16 with that other race, so we'll have 6 after this.
So yeah, so it's I think the other driver's probably a bit too far behind, given that the standards we've seen from the top five, to be honest. So yeah, so every point counts now for Maggie's. Will be wanting to, as you say, get the championship lead and hold it for a little bit.
Yeah, 11 to go here then in Division 1 Austria, as we see Jensen getting a little bit snaky on that curb out of turn 2. But yeah, we are now coming towards the end of this race. Strobel still very much leading the way then from Object Fungus by over a second and a half now, so looks to be just nursing those tyres and comfortably strolling here towards a win. We've just had Fair Play Racing League, our partners over at Fair Play Racing League, saying that Diamond and Zilla contact, Zilla has to pit.
Oh no!
Now,
Oh no!
now.
There'll be handbags over the weekend between the two drivers.
Oh no.
Absolute scenes at the gap.
Oh no. Well, we'll keep you separated at the weekend, lads. We won't have you sleeping next to each other. Oh dear. Sniz making it a double AlphaTauri retirement, then into the pits, retiring his car as well. 15 runners left of the race, then, which has become a little bit tepid now, is the word I'll use.
Stale.
Yeah, we need a safety car now, I think. There is still pockets of battles going on. We've got Lexus here having a look at Bawley, then into turn 3. Can't quite get it done. He's done a decent job as well, to be fair, considering he's taken an extra stop over everybody else, and surely will be ahead of this Mercedes soon. There he goes then into P7, looking at 6th now potentially, especially with the penalty for Junu Vane. But as you've already covered, TJ, it'll be difficult for him to get any higher than that. But Drobel, yeah, doing a fantastic job at the moment out in front now. The gap up to 2.7 seconds and growing ever bigger. So Object Fungus definitely finding his match here, at least today, as Diamonducci picks up a 3-second time penalty. Things haven't gone particularly well for him either. And, well, I don't think we're going to see any challenge for the win here. And as things are going with Jensen and Henkers, as we can see here, I don't think we're going to see a challenge for the podium here from Jensen either.
No, he hasn't made any gains at all the past 4 laps, unless he's protecting the tyres, which I don't think he is, to be honest. With Henkers behind him, yeah, it's just going to be a battle for fourth here. As you say, it's gone a bit. I don't want to call for it, but yeah, we do need some sort of safety car here just to perhaps bunch the field back up and give us an exciting sprint to the end. But yeah, I think I don't know what to say.
Well, yeah. I mean, sometimes you just have to say, yeah.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
Anyway, championship update then. So, yeah, as things go, go on. If Drobel was to win this race, yeah, he would go P4, I believe, in the championship. It'll be Object who goes to P3. TTL Zilla would fall down a considerable number of places after his DNF. Henkers would take P5, I think, in the champion. I don't know, I'm doing all this in my head. That's the state of play of things at the moment. You don't need me to tell you at the moment that with just the one Aston Martin in the points and Maggie is in P3, that Haas would make a gain on Aston Martin for the constructors. It's not over yet for the constructors title, especially if Livs doesn't turn up anymore, which would be a shame. But yeah, if he doesn't turn up, I mean, Livs is a driver for me. I don't think Livs is particularly the fastest driver in the field, but he just seems to be very consistent at what he does, and that's why he's got the lead of the championship. I think he just picks up podiums. He doesn't really pick up wins. He just picks up, P3, P2 here and there, and he always keeps his nose clean in races. And Well, I hope to see him back next week because I do want a title fight between him and Mag User, and well, hopefully the result here will make it even Stevens going into the final 6 rounds.
Yep, totally agree with that. Yeah, that was some great waffle. That was, Bill.
Just gotta say, yeah. As there's absolutely nothing going on to talk about. I've never been. What is going on in Austria? There's
The Red Bull ring has gone a bit stale.
yeah. What did you have for dinner tonight, TJ?
I had pizza, mate. What did you have?
I had sweet chili beef noodles with peppers and mushrooms.
Oh, Chef Bidley.
Yeah, Chef Bidley. It was very nice, very nice. As is a Ferrari doing something. Oh, it's in the pit. It's Seneco. Is he going to retire the car? There we go.
There we go. You've got to ask yourself, Bidley. Over the weekend, are we going to get a Bidley special of some chicken and salad wraps at like 2 o'clock in the morning?
No, fuck you. You can all get your own food. I can't be asked.
Whoa, fuck, it's almost you are.
Yeah, that was a one-time thing. This is the 3rd time I've had you lot to my house, and I'm waiting for an invite to somebody else's, to be honest, because I want chicken wraps at someone else's house.
I respect that. I reckon we should jump up to Zilla's gaff.
Yeah, I reckon. Go and see the Bass, beat me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Oh, we've got an invite to Scotland.
Oh, Brookie, yeah. We can all sleep in his new Corsa we just bought.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah, there's plenty of room in that. Anyway, 5 laps to go. There's just not really a lot to talk about. This is probably the worst advert for the league ever. We've had some fantastic racing up till this point. It's just not improved.
No.
In terms of, we haven't had a single safety car. We've not had a safety car, and on one hand, that is fantastic because it means, everyone's been really clean. There's been no stewards report this week. Everyone's drove very well, but it does also mean that you've got, Frosted Cheese 10 seconds off Diamond Douchey, Junuve 13 seconds off Henkers, which is fair. At least you've got the faster drivers towards the front, but the closest fight is Henkers and Jensen, which I think has gone on for the entire race here. It feels like it anyway.
Yeah, Lexus is on the back of Junivania. Is he going to make a move to turn 4? No, thinks better against it. And that is disappointing, Lexus. You should have sent the lunge there, lad. Give us a bit of excitement.
Oh yeah, Lexus has got Junivania. Here we go then, let's follow this. This is surely going to be an overtake. Surely going to be an overtake from Lexus. I say new, 8-lap-old mediums against 15-lap-old hards here. And Lexus, he's already got P6 because Junivane has a penalty. But, get it on track, lad. Give us something to talk about. Give us something to talk about.
DRS here. Give it full beams. Use your battery, lad. Down turn 1. Send it.
Go on, lad.
No.
Get it done. Oh.
Alright, you've got turn 3, lad. Fair exit here. Come on. Use a toe.
Here we go.
Use the battery. Send
Gotta
it.
be done.
Go on. Down turn 3, lad. You got it.
Don't make it easy, Johnny Vane. Don't make it easy.
Oh.
Behind them, TJ. Jock's made a move on Bully.
Up the Jock.
Jock's at speed. We've got a close fight here, TJ, for P8.
Go on, Lexus. Lexus going to make the move down to turn 4. He's going out braking. Oh, no, he's backed out. He's backed out to the move. What is that, Lexus?
As Prem makes a move on Bully, then up the inside into turn 4. Bully now down to P10 from P8 then in a single lap. So not ideal for the Mercedes man who's nearly outside the point. With 3 laps to go, it's probably a good time to check on the penalties actually. Let's see what the people are rocking at the moment then. Johnny Vane, Bully, Diamond and Frosted Cheese all on 3 seconds at the moment. Prem with 6 and Collateral Lads, who, fair play to him, TJ, after spinning round on lap 2 or whatever it was, is still going at the back of the field. What a geezer.
Respect that. That's massive respect.
A geezer. Unbelievable. As Lexus can't make a move again.
No.
Oh, just as I say that,
I
just That's not ideal.
The commentator's curses, real ladies and gentlemen.
And here
Collateral
goes
has just
Lexus then,
found out.
looking to make him with the inside. Oh, Johnny, make the move, lads. What's going on
So,
behind?
Diamond and Bally are going at it here. Diamond's got the better traction, using his battery. Is he going to get him in the corner? He does. To Mercedes hanging it though. And Diamond's got the move done.
Yeah, Diamond then up into the points, and that one is 4 points as well then, with both drivers having 3 seconds of time penalties at the moment.
Oof.
So Diamond Douchey taking the last point at the moment. Lexus then on the penultimate lap here, looking to make a move on Johnny Vane again. I don't know how he's not passed him yet, but here we go for about the 5th time. Still not able to make the... Why are we not seeing much overtaking here? I don't know.
I don't know.
I thought it was quite easy to overtake Austria.
It's actually DRS. I don't know why the lads aren't doing it.
Well, here goes Lexus then. Once again, he's a little bit further along. So he's just
lads.
go on.
Lexus, locate your fucking balls, lad, and get the bastard move done, will you? Christ!
Lexus knows he doesn't need to do it on track, and, well, he's being a little bit cautious in that as well then. So Drobel takes us on to the final lap here, 36 of 36. There is still some fights going on this one, not particularly for position, but further down the field, Bally is still tagging onto the back of Diamond Douchey. That one is very much for the final point up for grabs today. Diamond at the moment has the upper hand on the Mercedes, but with the Mercedes having a little bit more ERS on the final lap here, will we see a move into final couple of corners? Here comes Lexus.
He's got to get them. Oh,
oh, Johnny Vane's gone deep into the corner.
Get the move done, lads.
TJ's lost his lead.
We've got an overtake, ladies and gentlemen. Lexus up to P6.
Johnny Vane has finally done it then. As in all that, we missed Drobel coming over the line. TJ Object Fungus takes P2. It's a bit stale out in front. Mag User will take the final podium place. And with that, the championship lead. Jensen will go from 14th to 4th. Henkers couldn't find a way past and stays P5. TJ lost his lid. And Lexus will take P6 on the track. He was going to do it anyway with penalties, but gets it done on the road ahead of Johnny Vane in P7. Prem will take P8 on track, but will drop down then with penalties to P9. Jock taking P8, and Diamond making it a double point scoring occasion for Alpine, then taking P10 from Bally. Well, it got a little bit stale towards the end there, TJ, but we did see some overtaking still throughout the field. Yeah, a little bit, anyway. Yeah. Yeah. Here's your podium anyway, here's your man that won the race, Drobel. It was a fairly commanding win in the end, taking that pole position, taking with it the win from start to finish as well, really. I don't think he ever fell out of the lead of the race. Even with the pit stop, he retained the lead. What a drive from Drobel. We questioned whether he had it in him to take the fight to Object Fungus and his pace. Well, he more than had an answer for that today. Surely now the benchmark of pace in Division 1 here in TTL. Drobel, what a drive from him. Object Fungus and Mag User, your podium. We've already been through the top 10. Let's quickly cover then those drivers outside of the points. It's Bally, P11 for Mercedes, just missing out from Diamond Douchey then. No points for him today. Quickstone on his TTL debut, finishing P12. A solid drive in the end, but not rewarded with any points, unfortunately. Frosted Cheese, despite his good qualifying, finishing P13 after a couple of spins in the race. Collateral lads did finish on the timing screens. Good on you, lad, after spinning on the opening couple of laps. Finished the last of those on the road in P14. And those that didn't make it to the end, then we've got Seneco, Sniz, Revengezilla, Tiddlewink, and Brad Mason, who caused TJ to absolutely go into hysterics off the line after spearing the wall after about 20 seconds, it should be said. But as I mentioned, it was a fairly decent race, very clean, no safety cars from Division 1. LWS Yorkie makes a good point, TJ. Tier 1 or Division 1 is actually too clean.
Yeah, it is.
Is there such a thing as too good driving standards? It produces races like that.
Yeah, it's great to see the good driving standards, but it does make it a bit stale at times.
Yep, definitely.
But keep up the good work, Division 1.
Yeah, go on. You make TJ's life easier as a head steward anyway.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
Yeah, definitely. Then we've got one more order of business though, TJ, and I have no idea who it could be. There's a few candidates, in my opinion, that are up for vote. None less than, well, in my opinion, Drobel, who got the fastest lap, pole, and the race win. But, of course, we've had Jensen's drive from 14th to 4th. Magusa with a good display as well. Henkers as well, showing up in the race. But who is your driver of the day today, TJM?
Well, I mean, you've just picked all the drivers I was thinking about there, lad, so...
Yeah, but you have to pick one. I give you the options. It's like when your missus says, "What do you want for dinner?" and you go, "Well, I'll have what you have." She'll go, "No, I'll have what you have," and you go, "Well, no, it's between this." You have to give them options, TJ. How it's done.
That's very true. That is very, very true. But I am going to give it to... I'll give it Drobel. He had the perfect weekend. Powell, fastest lap. Get everything first all throughout. Jensen did a fantastic race, but I felt like he had the pace to get himself up to P4 anyway. But yeah, Drobel did a fantastic job in showing that he has got the pace to match Object Fungus around Austria.
Yeah, couldn't disagree with that one. Drobel, a perfect race and event for him. The hat-trick of F1, if you will, with the pole position. The fastest lap and the race win. Then that is all we have got time for this evening. Thank you very much to everyone watching along, getting involved in the chat. Drobel's very happy he got driver of the day. I think that means more. That means more to him than him getting the win. Drobel. Yeah, fantastic. But that is all we've got time for this evening. We'll be back tomorrow with Division 2 giving us a race around Austria. I think myself and TJ might be taking part. I don't know. I can't speak for TJ. I might be.
I'm racing around Austria tomorrow, lad. I'll see you on track.
There we go. We'll see what happens tomorrow, won't we? Tune in to watch us make a fool of ourselves tomorrow night. And yeah, until then, take care and we'll see you later.